All right. What's up? What's up? Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. Guys, don't forget to check out the disclaimer. Holy shit. All right, okay. Check out the disclaimer, which states that day trading is risky. My results are not typical. Utilize small size early. Utilize simulators. Practice, improve before being aggressive in the markets. Remember, lastly, copy trading does not work, and I do not invest for my subscribers. So be careful of fake accounts. Now let's jump right into the watch list. As you're tuning in, hit the thumbs up, and it's time to rock and roll. So ALUR looks like the top dog here today. I'm going to clear my drawing set and get some fresh trend lines here. We have about 7 minutes to the opening bell, just 3 stocks here that I think look decent. So ALUR, we have highs at 418, low of the pullback at 360. And that's way down there. That's the absolute lows. The recent pullback, we more so have a tighter range around at 394. So we'll see how that does. In terms of the daily chart, I'm going to check out the daily chart here. I'm going to take a look at it on E-Trade. ALUR, so we've been selling off. We've had we had a gap up back in January from 739 to 1681, but sold right off. And 70 million shares of volume that day. Sold off, and today is really our first day curling back up. So room to 441 potentially, and then maybe 578. This type of stock will have to like play it by ear, I think, though. Just kind of see how it does. Yeah, and before that last big move, we had there was a reverse split. So I think in terms of daily levels, I'll kind of just like play it by ear. But maybe I'll put 441 here just in case we see early resistance. Well, other than that, yeah, let's see how it does. Hopefully we get a strong move to 5, 6, 7, 8. If we're lucky, it goes to 20. It's been a while since we really had a stock that went from like $3, $4 all the way to 20. But it's up 75% with 32 million shares of volume. People are paying attention to it, and that's all we need to know. IBIO is the next one. This one here is a biomedical stock up 55%, 19 million shares of volume. 514, the pre-market highs, also in line with a double top from after-hour highs, but has sold off down here. As of right now, lows of our current pullback around 310 and high of the range at 348. We'll see if this one is able to give us the red to green IBO. Daily chart wise, it does look decent. It looks like it might have been a fairly recent IPO, if not at least a fairly recent name change going back to September of last year. And right now we've curled up pretty much over highs, so we'll see how this does. We'll see how it does. IBO. Yep, looks decent. Looking for the red to green. Okay, lastly, I have PNBK. PNBK, which is up 40% with 10 million shares of volume. Started off in after hours with a high of 204. Since then, we've pulled back. We've had lows on our recent pullback around 134. And we're currently testing the VWAP area. So we'll see how this one does. PNBK, and I guess ultimately we'll also be looking for a red to green here since we've pulled back from previous highs yesterday. But yeah, I think the watch list looks decent. It just comes down to us being patient and waiting for those good setups. PNBK, it's worth mentioning that we are below the 200 EMA, and that level is currently at, hold on, let me double check here. 218, it would seem, or I'm getting two different numbers here. I'm getting 210, 218 on both my platforms. I guess I'll just put 215, kind of give myself a medium of those two. It doesn't have to be the exact price, but plus or minus a cent, a couple of cents is fine. At least I know what to look out for. This one does have a lot of topping wicks as well on the daily chart, but we'll see. We'll see what it's able to do. We rejected the 200 EMA at 250 back in February. Levels that I want to be mindful of. Okay, ALUR, how are we doing here with about a minute to go? Small pullback early, that's fine. The goal today is, of course, to start off a little slow, right? So I got my small share size set, baby infant size, and then when the time is right, I will be going for the moon. I'll be going for the stars. Day 5 of road to a 5-figure a day trader. Let's see what we get. Looking forward to the festivities here. So we pulled back to VWAP. We'll see how it does. ALUR. ALUR. So far, not a ton yet. Not a ton yet. Lows 83, high 98. There's a bit of volume here at 4. Let's see how it continues.
SLNHP.
It'll be interesting to see if it holds up early, similar to the stock we had yesterday, or are we going to see some bigger red candles coming here soon?
INLF. CRVO.
I'm 33.
RGC.
Hope I got a decent fill there. So we are failing here. A good trade. It's coming down. Moving on. IBO, how are we doing? IBO looks like it's holding up a little bit better. Okay. Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up as you're tuning in.
HCAI.
I do have to bring down my volume a little bit. Quite the move here.
SLNHP.
Wow.
WGRX.
Not bad, not bad. Very strong. 432 is the halt up. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Time 37.
RGC.
That might have been a little early, but I did try for sub the level, but we'll see how it comes up. What? What? I'm gonna take it. Why not? Let's just buy it. But what? Huh? And there's no bounce.
WGRX.
Okay, maybe there's a bounce. Bro, that is brutal. That's rough. That's rough, bro. That's rough. That is crazy work right there. Holy smokes. What was that? Okay, I should have held 36 entry. Look, we're at 64. It did make a new low and the halt down was close, so I kind of sold. Oh, bro, it's kind of bouncing up aggressively here too. If we see like 80, it could come all the way back up. There's 78.
INLX. CRBR.
Bro, it was easy to lose right there. If I only had a position, there's nothing I could have done. Yeah. So how are we looking here? How are we looking? How are we doing? Of course, I wish I held the dip, but They gave me the worst entry there ever. Like, come on. And I'm selling early because, you know, I'm a little chicken. I should be holding that, but I'll try to get back in if I can. But this could already be backside. It's very possible that this is already the end of the stock. The beginning of the end. There's a small chance it gets back over 4 eventually, but it has a lot of work to do before it gets to that level, that point.
GDHG. AIF. LAZR. HCAI. OUST. LITM. LAZR. OUST. LITM. LAES.
Oh, of course. I try to take a little something at 50. It's in the depths.
ADPT.
There's a new 5-minute candle. I think I'll wait. It's possible it still holds up, but again, this could already be backside.
OUST. LAES.
Do I want to try again? Very risky. Very risky.
UAMY.
IMRX.
Extremely risky.
MRVI.
Damn, bro. Like the moment I'm like that red candle, like I was getting ready, man. Like I was getting ready
OUST.
to go Viking mode, and then this thing just collapses. What else is moving here? Let's check the chat. BVPR. Let's take a look. All right, switching gears.
ADPT. GDHG.
RNAS curled up.
RNAZ.
RNAZ could also be a good stock to watch here.
TIRX.
Maybe gets halted up. Halt is at 114. Hopefully gets locked in.
ADPT.
ERAS.
Awesome VVPR there. Okay, maybe RNAS. All right, this could be fun. Arnaz.
INLF.
RNAZ. OUST.
It's a very sharp red to green on this one. Time 49. Okay. The 5 minute candle is about to close.
IMG.
CCL.
Why does my ladder look like this? So
UST.
stupid. It's like within the spreads here.
XHLB. ELAB.
We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
AGL.
SKYE. NIPG. RDHL.
AGL. LAES. CRBO. UAMY. CRBO.
RD.
GRRR.
Remaining patient here, just waiting for something.
AI.
WKEY.
TEM. AGL. AGL.
ILLR.
Hmm. Okay.
ONBO. AGL. QMCO. QUBT. APP. AGL.
Hmm. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. It's kind of holding up high for now, at least.
ONBO halted. ONBO will resume at 10 hours 2 minutes and 13 seconds. QUBT. QMCO.
SYTA.
XHLD. TEM.
Uh,
IONQ.
and this is a baby position. I probably might have to scalp this one like the usual. But it's at a resistance here, so the quicker we get through this resistance, the better. Like, how are we gonna do here?
RNAZ. XHLD.
EYXS.
RNAZ. BKKT.
YHC.
XHLD.
The hidden seller made me nervous, bro. Come on.
XHLD.
What's this? The pre-market high? No, it's not. That's a random level from some other day.
QUBT. UAMY.
Honestly, I mean, I guess that's fine. Did something. I'd expected more, but
ONBO may resume in less than a minute. UAMY. RNAZ.
still gotta be reactive here. Gotta be
TBH.
reactive. We could see a new high of day, but let's see how it plays out.
BKKT. RNAZ. UAMY. QUBT. TBH. ONBO.
That's a big seller because I thought I bought it half the position, nothing happened.
UAMY. RNAZ. AGL. QUBT.
Time.
BO. QUBT.
What's the time? What's the time for
QUBT. ONBO.
I gotta be careful here. I don't want to go too heavy, not yet. Only got 10,000, which is kind of small, but you know, didn't want to be super aggressive early.
QUBT.
Yeah, IBO looks interesting. I'll check it out in a sec.
GLTO. RGTI.
GRAL.
QUBT.
LXEH.
I don't know, I feel like I sold a little too soon. That was a good bounce. Turned out to be pretty good.
IONQ. QBTS. GLTO halt QUBT. GLTO will resume at 10 hours, 10 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Does it have what it takes to keep going? Oh, yes, I sold so early in that position, man. What's wrong with me? Short. Okay, fine. High is at 35.
NIBM.
GRRR.
It's possible we can see some. Well, it is extended. Best I be patient here. It could keep going though. As always, as we know, some of these stocks can keep going. I'm still too soft because my intuition told me to add again on the dip and I chickened out. Work in progress.
RNAZ.
Okay, okay. 38, 38.
DBI. RNAZ. GRRR. RGTI. IONQ.
Time. There's time. Let's see how it plays out in the next couple of minutes.
LAES.
NMG. BTAI.
GRRR. BTAI. GRRR. AMPX. GLTO may resume.
There's 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candlestick.
GRRR. BTAI. RNAZ.
Oh, it's gonna go. I'm gonna chase this, which is gonna be very risky. Can we see 50?
AMPX.
Chasing like a madman here. We only got 45 back down. And this thing, it's like I kind of not expecting it to go up this much, but then it's like still going, you know? Oh, there's 50. Probably could have held that position then.
RNAZ.
Shit.
AMPX.
It's a little disappointing because it's like it didn't really come down right there for me to like do anything serious for this move. So it's like I'm in with a baby size. I was gonna try to get up in size, but
RNAZ.
there's 53. This thing is mooning. It's funny because I was reviewing something like this last night. It's interesting how this is gonna come up to 46.
RNAZ.
Has to be immediate.
BKKT.
And it's trying for new highs. It's trying.
EPWK. SHLD.
Time 13. Oh, freaking out my hotkeys, man. Shit. I sold that 3 cents lower than I would have wanted to. I'm only using smaller size here because it's so I kind of feel like I'm not really getting the proper entries and I don't want to be too aggressive at the highs. I could use bigger blocks here, but I think it's fine. We'll just grind it out with the slower gains until we get an opportunity.
ELTO may resume in less than a minute.
NCNX.
SCNX. AMPX.
52. Wow. It's getting bought up again. It's getting bought up. I need to not give in to temptation though. I gotta just remain patient. Remain patient. Keep waiting. Keep waiting like a sniper in the bushes.
GLTO.
See, like I expected a 5-minute pullback there. It didn't happen. C2.
AMPX. GLTO. GLTO. QMCO.
MSW.
I'm gonna size down for now.
ONQ. GLTO.
And UKK.
IRD. QMCO. GLTO halted. GLTO will resume at 10 hours 21 minutes and
QMCO.
12 seconds.
Okay. Okay. So we're getting our first 5-minute pullback here.
PHAT.
Um. Hmm. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I kind of have no idea here. Analysis paralysis. Okay. All right. Okay. Time 18. It's definitely a little tricky in this area. It's just, pushed up so much so quick. Highs are at 56.
MNTS. JUN.
I think I probably just build smaller, take it slow, then give myself wiggle room. That's the plan I'm going to stick to, but the way how it's moving, we'll see if it even allows for that. I mean, if not, I'll just scalp it, but we'll see. It just depends how it plays out. And if there's shares available to short, I'm going to try to go short in some areas too. Because why not? Okay, of course I can until it comes down.
SCNX.
Patience is key. I gotta be careful with this trade here because I kind of don't know the range here. This position I'm taking is just to see how it wants to play.
FGL.
This is just to see, to get my feet wet, to join the game.
GLTO may resume in
The
less than
game. The game has started. The game has started, brother. So I had a limit order 37. I canceled and market order in. So I'm in 39. It's just a 2 cents higher fill, but what time is it? 21. And I didn't get the ad. And I still have small size. It's just hard to say for sure.
GLTO. GLTO.
This is definitely a tougher pullback for me here.
CLIK. HLD.
I'm gonna have to bring this desk back up.
XHLD.
Ah, fuck it. Sorry. If it flushes down to the Titanic, who cares? If it flushes down into oblivion, it'll be but a scratch trade for the pastor. Okay, looks like I'm not gonna. Well, it's still early. Patience. Patience is gonna be the key here.
AMPX. SOXL.
I'm gonna hope. Well, it's fine. Whatever it does, it does.
APP. CLIK. SCNX. AMPX. IONQ.
SUNE.
CYTK.
This ought to be interesting. I think this will be an interesting move here.
SCNX.
Fill. Damn, where's my Q in the line? Tragic. Tragedy has struck. Whoa.
CLIK.
The IBO? What's going on with IBO? Oh, false breakout? I saw the level 2 in the side of my eyes going crazy.
SCNX. GLTO. AMPX. CLIK.
What? Holy shit. It's halting up.
IBIO. AMPX.
What the heck?
IBIO.
Now let's see if we get sympathy here.
IBIO.
Being that there's another stock, I'm kind of like losing confidence in this one. So I'm probably not going to use the size that I intended to use. Like, I need this to be the stock of the day if I'm going to be all out on it, right? So I'm going to take it easy here and be patient.
HIMS.
It could be backside, so I don't want to build a massive position. Yeah, yep. Cutting it.
AMPX.
Alright, I think it's time to switch gears. I wonder if the other one failed, if that one would have probably held up. But I was planning to take a position, which maybe would have been a little risky. It was going to be managed pretty well, but still I would have had size, so... Now IBIO wants to dance. IBIO. I'm a little late to the party. But the party's going till 5 a.m. Hopefully. Huge wedge breakout. Pre-market highs, 514. Daily chart. Did we say we're going to play this one by ear? IBO. Oh yeah, daily chart. All-time highs. At least as of recent. If it's a name change or not, not sure. But time. Why is my level 2 cooked? Let me just prepare quickly. IBIO. Okay, there's at least 2 minutes. All right. I'm definitely tempted to be aggressive, but it's gonna be a lot of risk. You gotta take it slow first,
ADD.
and then when the time is right, this could be a good one. This will be a good one to see. To continue to gather data here. So in the next 2 minutes, of course, I'll look at the different rip first, and then I think I'll ease off a little bit because, you know, I think that's a smart thing to do. Then wait till it's my time to strike.
CCL.
This one is not giving me a countdown. It's also not showing the other half of the level 2. Not sure why.
SCNX.
Well, we're halted up at 485. Waiting. Okay. Patiently.
Will may resume in less than a minute.
We got about a minute 30 and 57 seconds. Thirty and 57 seconds. $485. Tight stops. 17 seconds.
TBH.
Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're not actively trading, we got 10 seconds. 485. Here we go.
IBIO.
Okay.
SCNX.
Damn, I added.
CCL.
Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. Shit. Shit. Not good. Holy shit. Oh, there's no way. Oh my god. Damn, I got cooked on that position. Alright, the dip and rip did not go according to plan. Holy smokes. Let me check that. Oh, I got bad ads on both. I lost 10,000 shares, 50 cents. Goodness gracious. We got a high 44, the low of the pullback,
CCL.
67. Brother.
IBIO.
We'll see how well it holds up on the pullback.
MPX. MPX.
HWH.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Pretty bad fill though. I'm gonna try again 50.
ARCT.
But I got ranks on this stock. Jesus Christ.
RR. CCL.
I got ranks. Jeez Louise.
AMPX.
Maybe not as patient for that dip. Probably could have waited a little longer.
CCL. AMPX. RR.
That wasn't bad. That was not bad. Maybe the losses distracted me a little bit there, but I think fair pullback, pretty fair.
AMPX.
So after the dip and rip, I waited for the pullback, but I bought early, kind of high. I think out of the initial dip and rip, I got a little too excited because that trade worked out so well. It was such a good move. I expected the continuation and then the pullback, but instead we stalled out and then dipped.
CUK.
Time 35. bit of an early pullback here, but fair for the move. So we'll see how it does.
EPWK. SCNX.
$86.
MGRX.
RR. SCNX.
USAR.
RR.
There's a seller 50. Smaller seller got broke. Let's see, 50.
ABDX. RR.
IBO. What will it be?
RCAT. IBIO. RCAT. UVXY.
Oh, it's kind of hard to chase it up here.
FDX. IBIO. SMCI. IBIO. RR. IBIO.
ERBG.
W.
Oh, there's a spread. Oh, fuck. I didn't realize there's a spread there that big. Shoots. It's gonna mess up my entry there. Ah, dang, that could have been so much better. If I'd noticed earlier, I could hit the bids, brother. That was a sweet dip. That was a sweet dip. We caught something, but not what we would have wanted.
HUHU. IINN.
PHH. TCBP.
This thing got mad range, bro.
SOAR.
Which I think is a good thing too. But you gotta definitely watch out. You don't want to get caught with 10,000 shares losing 40 cents like I just did.
KUKE. TCBP halted. TCBP will resume at 10 hours 50 minutes and 43 seconds.
Should have put out the freaking time. 46.
KUKE.
Don't you dare take me to the depths. We're seeing a bigger pullback here. That low is 26. Looks like we're seeing a bigger pullback. And the bounce up is unreal. It's nice. But the dip fairly low there. I was gunning for 50, sub 40, sub 50, but not 20s. Okay. All right.
RNAZ. ELTR.
No, not this one. Not that.
MSGM.
ADTS. ASTS. APP. HCAI. TCBP may resume in less than a minute.
Is it like going at the same price? I wonder. Okay, no, it's not.
HCAI halted. HCAI will resume at 10 hours 54 minutes and 26 seconds.
AUID.
ABEO.
This is where I had my second order initially.
TNXP.
Slept on my hands last night, and it's like still feeling crazy here. Need the blood flow.
XHLD. HCA. I may resume in less than a minute.
That resumption trade was brutal, man. Like that first dip was nice, and I got too excited. So I pulled out big boy size, but the way how I view that trade was continuation. But at the same time, my average is not the same, which sometimes you can overlook in that type of situation. My average went from like 560. I sold up at like or 460. I sold up at 5, and then I tried to buy back 505, 10,000 to sell over 530. I got filled 530, and then the stock is at 480 instantly.
ASTS.
But I should have just took 10,000 at 460, right? Is what I should have did. That would have been a better sequence. A better sequence. So maybe this ad here is maybe too low. I initially had it at this exact price point, so maybe I kind of second guessed that, but
may resume in less than a minute.
we'll see if this is able to do anything here. Work to be done. Work to be done. Without the losses, I'm pretty sure I would have had 3 positions of about 3,000 each. So at least give this thing a real shot with size. Can I be in it? So this is like a more like like longer trade here versus like the scalps that we had earlier. So in the quickness, it's easier to make mistakes because there's less time to think about the trade. It's just straight action. And then, not only did I get bad fills, but sadly the stock didn't really like hold 5. It just like evaporated. So in those situations, what you would hope for is like a struggle at the highs at least. That way you can get out flat, or worst case, like a 10, 15 cent, 20 cent drop off. But a 40-cent teleportation down after the bad fills was brutal. So buying in those situations with an offset is probably better too. That way I probably would have only filled like 500 shares, because I got filled from like 05 I got filled at 20 and then 30. Well, that was pretty rough. 20 and 30. So we're seeing an early pullback here. We'll see how it holds up.
TCBP.
I did already think of everything too in terms of like risk wise. Initially, I'm like, okay, let's not be too aggressive. That way we don't risk too much. But then once I got that winning trade, everything went out the window. Pastor saw blood in the water and tried to make some magic, but took on a little too much risk in that one trade. So the early pullback is working out well here. Let's see if it continues. We would, of course, want the 5-minute candle to make a new high. Son of a gun.
NUKK.
Okay. Let's see how it continues here. I'd love to see us starting to hold above 70, 72.
ACHR. HCA.
So far, so good.
RTDT. SMCI. ACHR. HCA.
BDSX.
RH. ACHR. TEM. CCL. RTDT. ACHR. RGTI. TEM.
I'm going to hit my trailing stop here. We'll see how it holds up. There's still going to be opportunities to scalp if it wants to go.
TBH. RGTI. AMPX. TBH. TEM. RTDT. TBH.
XCH.
IONQ. TEM. RGTI. RDDT.
The question right now is, do we look bullish enough to see another hive day?
AMPX.
That's the question. We did get the 5-minute candle make the new high just now, but it doesn't seem like it was quite ready.
BL.
SMSI.
GRAL.
GATEU.
ZYBT.
TBH. TEM.
Perhaps a higher low, perhaps. See, this type of trade here is just a little bit more tough.
Halted. GATEU will resume at
51,
7
not the
minutes
best
and 40 seconds.
fills. And cutting it. Gotta keep these tight.
SNWB. TDUP.
AMPX. NUKK.
You see, it's not that I didn't want to add right there, but just the way how, yeah, it's just a little too tough. I just needed that order just sitting there because that was just a little tough trying to analyze the tape, get everything right. Just a little tough. Just a little tough.
CUK.
And are we seeing a false breakout here? Not liking that wick. I was looking to give that a chance for 80. We got 70 very quickly, but right back down. That might be backside maybe, because that was a pretty weak candlestick.
QUBT.
There's still time though. There's still time in this candlestick, like another 4 minutes. But that's not what we want to see on a nice, beautiful hold of the lows. That came back down a little too fast for my liking. Could be the noise though. The key ultimately is for us not to break down, which we haven't done yet.
HCAI.
GATEU may
But this is the second 5-minute candle to make a new high that's kind of struggling a little bit. Initially right here, and then again. So are we at the beginning of the end? Do I go short here with a stop at 70? And look for 450.
AMPF. TBF.
Bro, it's a pretty good day, but we made one costly mistake. One costly mistake. But what I'm seeing here, though, is like to make over 5 figures a day, you have to be putting some serious size. And I took some serious size, relatively speaking. I think I took 15,000 shares in the other stock, which is probably not that big for that price. Actually, no, I didn't. Well, maybe I did once or twice, but it was never in the area where I could have accumulated a position. Yeah, so I didn't get to accumulate shares on the other stock because it was just going up without really dipping. Was that can't remember the name. Arnaz? Was it Arnaz? Yeah. Actually still holding up too. Curled back up here.
SOUN.
IBIO pretty solid.
TEF.
If you avoided any bigger losses on that resumption. It did give 2 good dips. Initially, I think I got a little distracted from the loss because on this first pullback right here, like this move down, I knew exactly what I should have been looking for, but I think not dialed enough to like, you know, stay focused because I took it high. I ended up taking the trade high below, I think like below the whole dollar. Like I took 490
TEM.
and I got filled 98, so a bit of a higher fill, and then it proceeded to crash down here.
CHR.
But I knew the bigger pullback should have been
CCL.
the case, right? Even before the halt resumption, it's like, hey, let's trade a dip and rip, and then just wait for that pullback because the stock is just so high up, like it more than likely has to dip. So I kind of gave in and bought a little higher than I was, my intuition was telling me here. And then this dip, there was a spread 54 by 70.
TEM.
And I bought in the spreads, got filled 70. And I was like, crap, the spread is a little wide. I'm going to try to wait because, we could also see like sub 50. I get out to the end, get back in, and got cooked with the spreads again. I got filled 70 again. And I sold that one like 90. But, after taking the first loss, then the second loss in the spread, by the time I get the winning trade going back up, it's just not the right trade, right? It's not the right execution, rather. And so what I would have needed to do was to keep the patience, really accumulate down here, and then, just easy, beautiful 1, 2, 3 going up.
ACHR.
So the plan was already set, but the execution along the way kind of got us caught up. And I want to go back and watch that trade. So when I'm done on the stream here, I'm going to check it out. This it could hold up again, but maybe backside. Could be backside, I think. This is our 3rd time. Watching for the bounce. Can we see back over 5? Tight stops. There's 90. Can we see something more? 92. And scratch trade.
CCL.
67. So maybe 67, probably it here.
May resume in less than a minute.
Can we see 90 out of that bounce? Yep, there's 90. So that was the dip. That was the dip right there. Where I bought still early. That was the dip. But that's why I don't like trade the backside though. Like it's a little tough on the backside, knowing that the trend is going down, so it's hard to like add. And then
CCL.
for me, there's no target really, right? In terms of like a defined high of day target. But you know, before right here, it's like I'm buying lower, and then target is highs. This is more arbitrary, like, hey, can we get to 5 because we've dropped down 60-70 cents? Man, I had this day in the bag, bro. This should be a freaking 10K day.
CATEU.
I probably was already up like 3K, and then that lost. So I'm gonna go watch this back. Let me stop the recording here. Let's go see the brutalization of that 10K size loss. Coming soon to a theater near you.
CUK.
Grab your popcorns for this one. Let's pull it up. I think that'll be my biggest single trade loss in like 6 months or something like that. I got too much conviction, man. Like I felt good. I had that winning trade, you know, and the confidence, maybe it's too much confidence, because I'm like, yep, give me that. And then I caught this sweet dip. Let's see,
CCL.
bro. This is diabolical. 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 All right, let's just skip ahead to the resumption. Well, I was green on this thing 1300. Holy smokes. So after this sweet trade, I must have been green closer to 2K. These were scratch trades, didn't quite work. Was this it? Okay, maybe that might have been it. Look at my fill. Goodness gracious. Let's just double check. Let me double check. Okay. Oh, okay. Makes perfect sense. See, I usually am paying more attention towards the bids. So that can happen. That's fine. That's fair. And right here is where I'm gonna get brutalized. Watch this, watch this, watch this. So there's the first position, 510. And the ad is gonna come a little later. Yeah, this was pretty bad ad. This terrible ad. See, this only will be good if this stock just goes to if this goes to 80, this is great. But look at the evaporation to 480 right here. So the aim would be 580 out of this boost. And then okay, let's wait for that pullback. But I think this is just too aggressive. The first trade, great. Right away we should have kind of waited. And I think that's the mistake here. That is definitely the mistake. Because ultimately we're only gonna see this go to 80 in the halt up in the like hotter markets where, you know, going back to like November, December, September of last year, maybe a little bit of January this year. In those months, this will go to $5.80, $6 and not even pull back, which, you know, in that type of market, you ask yourself, what the hell is going on, right? But in this slower market where we're having like a hotter day, you got to watch out to not be like too aggressive. So look at this evaporation here. 02 and then 87. Cooked. Just doesn't take a lot. Just like that. Just like that. From hero to the depths. Jesus Louise. And this is basically where I end the day right here. So we weren't able to overcome that loss after the I think enough though to get back to green. But again, we had the issues on that first dip. And then the second dip. Did I get the first candle? I don't even know. But yeah. So that was kind of rough. So from 1300 green to 1200 red. Losing quite a bit there. Tragedy. This trade, I think, is risky. This sequence here. There is risk involved here as well. And, you know, the question for me, though, is how bullish do we look? Like, how bullish do we look and how bullish can we be? Again, you think about all the market sentiment stuff. we're getting a bit of a hotter day and a bit of a colder month. How strong can this be?
RDDT.
And this type of candle is a great sign, honestly. Like when we curl up this nice, like we shouldn't be doing a topping wick. Like there's just no way. But having that intuition to say I'm gonna just sell early is tough to have. But I did notice over on this side there was somebody selling here. Somebody was selling right here, and I sold another like 250. I think I had 1,200 shares. I sold 250 in this candle, and I sold another 250 here. But I'm thinking in this candle that despite there being a seller, somebody just like either just taking profits or going short, whatever, there's a chance that we could see another kind of pullback. Maybe not as low, hopefully not as low as this red candle, but something like this where we like flag and then try again and then break out. But in this situation, I'm just trying to keep it tight. Likewise with this green candle coming down, it's like, okay, I'm going to try to keep that tight because it's just a little too much risk knowing that we should have continued. Like high of day is my target at 17. And we only got to... High of day is my target at 17 and we only got to 70. So we're short like 45 cents. Why are we having resistance this early? So it's like, yeah, I probably should be
PTO.
having a trailing stop and getting out sooner to at least walk away with something. But
RDDT.
I think overall, if I'm to grade the performance of the day, honestly, I'd say it's hard to give myself a high grade because of the mistake I made at the end. But I'd say like a solid B plus. There's a lot of great things that we did. I think we traded extremely well on RNAS and IBIO early. We just kind of got caught. I think we traded this one in this early trend right here. And actually we got a little lucky too because we avoided this red candle here. And I say lucky because I had planned to take a position, right? So we were like up here on IBIO. Like if we come back over here, we were like up in this area here. So my trigger to get in didn't really come yet. And I was just waiting. And then I look back, this thing is down here at a low of 21 instantly. So it's like if anybody took early starters or just looking for a breakout quick dip, like this could have been like a tough one to come back from. But it all depends, right? Because if it is a starter, if you're going for the dip, if it's a starter, then it shouldn't really be that bad because it's not your full size. But even, if it depends, right? If you're looking for the breakout and you do have something close to full size and you're looking for like a quick micro dip to then bounce, then it could have been more brutal. And this is where I kind of looked away from this one after this massive red candle down here. After that, it did slowly curl up. So when this breakout happens, I'm looking at a different stock trading. So it's nearly impossible for me to catch this move here. In the side of my eye on this red candle, I did see the tape because I have the level 2 on like a different screen. In the side of my eyes, there's just all these movements. I look over, this thing is ripped up to 435 and then sold off. And then I look back, it's halted up. I'm like, what? These are always tough too, because if you're long and this happens and you stop out and then it goes, it's like this type of stuff makes you punch the air, right? If you're watching at it. And even if you zoom out a little bit from how we were moving, I guess we did get a little tighter in the wedge here. But honestly, I wouldn't have expected a move like that. Like, not at all. The people who captured this have been trading the stock and holding longer at the lows. I think the breakout traders probably didn't even capture this move. The way how it happened. Unless you had some sick intuition below the drop of VWAP to buy back again. Which after the false breakout, most people are going to kind of be a little bit more careful. It then rips up. RNAS is also having a bigger red candle here. Let's see. Bro, anybody can have their own opinions, man. That's fine. For me personally, I know what I see in my mind, and if I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hands. That's all I'm concerned about, brother. And it's just like how I saw days like today, where I can make 2K and take size. 2-3 years ago, I was already seeing this in my mind. So today's just another day in the process of me getting towards my best self, right? Because I don't know, it's different for everybody, but it's easy to see why at this point, why like people say, hey, this guy, he's already a millionaire, he already made money, right? Like referring to like a top CEO or something. They'll say, why in the world would he keep pushing to be better? Why can't he just be content with making 1 million a year? Well, because in that person's mind, they're seeing all the areas of opportunity where they can improve, right? What's interesting though is that my story is on display for the world to see. Every other trader who is trading privately, who goes through all these same things, nobody can see anything, so nobody can say anything, right? But best believe me when I say every trader in the world deals with these same problems, right? Unless you're just born 100% great trader from the start. So, you know, like I've had a slower month before in my career, like multiple times. Like if I have a slower month today, this month, it's like it means nothing. Especially when I'm doing all the correct things to continue to improve and get better, right? If I had like stayed and be content with $50 a day, then I would have never known this world existed, of being able to push myself, manage risk, and be better, right? I've had losses like that before, in a resumption trade. Those things happen, right? You kind of get a little too much conviction in a trade. Who has that not happened to before, right? Where a setup looks great, you kind of got a little too overzealous, you took a big loss. But it's not something to, like, kill yourself over, right? You take the lesson and you move on. So it's all about improving and getting a little bit better, right? There's millionaire traders right now who I know are going through like a red streak, who are red on the month, who are, you know, taking big losses.
MWYN.
GLTO.
But again, everybody's story is a little different, right? IBIO, RNAS, RNAC, VVPR, ALUR. And I don't think, well, I don't know. We'll see if anything else comes up for the rest of the day. We'll see if we get any other stocks. Yesterday, I did see PSTV before I left, but I was like, you know what? That's the day I'm out here. And then that thing ended up going to the moon. Today, if we see something else, we can always come back. But yesterday, I opted not to come back. And I think part of that was because I was red the day prior on a stock around the similar price range. If you guys can recall the day where I thought I traded really well early, but because I was using size, I got murdered in the spreads. So it's like when I saw PSTV, I didn't give it a chance. I'm like, I'm not gonna come back, be aggressive and then get murdered for good trades. I'm like, to hell with this stock. But of course, it ended up being a good stock, right? But I didn't give it a chance to even find out if it would have been good or not. So maybe that was on me, definitely on me for not at least attempting with small size first. But PSTV, not PSTV, the other one, I can't remember the name of it, but I think that what's today? If today's Thursday, that was Tuesday. No, today's Friday. So that was Wednesday. The one on Wednesday where I took the $800 loss over a couple of trades, that was very frustrating because all of those trades were great trades, and then it led to me to me hesitating, which, you know, that's a whole different story, right? You gotta always stay firm to the good quality setups. Even if it doesn't work for a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days straight, we know once the deck is reshuffled, the A quality setups can offer a lot of opportunities. Without them, we wouldn't have any green, any consistency. So earlier I mentioned, is it time to go short at 45 with a stop at 70, IBIO, and look for 450? Well, short sellers are enjoying that trade for sure. And that's why if there's shares available on this broker, we can do better, because there are going to be those days where you have that intuition, where you see it happening. There's the weakness. Although I didn't recognize that I would want to be short up until about 545, 539, 547. That was where the stock was when I had the trade idea. So it's definitely not the best entry because it's not right up at the highs. But I think the risk would have been appropriate for the reward. If I'm in 45, let's say, or let's just say 40. If I'm in 40, my stop is at 70. You know, I'm risking 30 cents for this thing to fail and collapse. And I guess it depends on how grand you're looking at the trade. If you're thinking this thing is really done, and you know, 450 is a fair target, but if you're thinking this thing is really done, you know, 450 probably is not the best place to be getting out, right? If it's official backside, which for me I'd consider it to be that, below this consolidation, probably wait for levels down here, you know, 380 and maybe even beyond. But I wouldn't want to get too greedy in the trade. Some people probably who are doing this every day short will probably hold this thing till $2 because they have more intuition of what should happen. Usually I'd say 9 out of 10 stocks will go back down to like nothing. Every so often you get the GV or the ADTX, which somehow, you know, the next day holds up and holds up again. But most of these things, 8, 9 out of every 10 of them, they'll go from 3 to 6, and then before the day is over or by the next morning, back down to 250. So the short sellers right now are cooking. The short sellers are cooking. The P&L is red 600. Red 600. Green 1400 on RNAS. Red $50 VVPR. Red 600 ALUR. And red 1200 IBIO. But at our highs up to 2K, somewhere there before the bigger loss. We took a 2K loss in one trade. If you're now tuning in. But yeah, that's pretty much the analysis. And really and truly, I probably should just cut this and make it the recap. But we'll probably just do a full-on separate recap. But yeah, I think that's today, unless, you know, maybe something else comes up later. In which case, we can do some reviews if I do take more trades in the official recap video, which will be out around 4 or 5 p.m. market time. All right, guys, stay safe, stay green, hit that thumbs up, and catch you guys in the next one tomorrow again at 9:15 a.m. for another beautiful day. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll